you guys, in your young life, you went to Tarbiyah Academy, obviously, and everything that you've been learning so far has come from an Islamic root, which is great. And, Sister Zara was giving you a historical context, which is great. And, just the whole idea of mind, body, spirit is like we list them as three things, but we really need to understand that they're one thing. You guys good? You guys good? Okay. So they really are one thing in the sense of this is how we live our life, right? So throughout the day, nothing is disconnected. So part of what we want to do is just like add a little more physical component to what you've been doing already, which is getting educated on how they tie together. So I just took some brief notes here. From an Islamic perspective, you don't always have to. I think it's hukm and ilm, right? You interpret and you put things in the context of what you're dealing with in your day, right? So in your time, in your country, right? We have all these different examples of things that happened over time, in a time where we weren't even alive, and somehow magically they just relate to us right now, today, right? Right? Yeah? Do you know what I'm talking about? Right? People were hungry during Ramadan way before you were born, right? Right? So we're dealing with the same things, right? So, anyways, what I'm trying to say is that it's implied throughout your faith that you use your common sense and you pull things together in a way that makes sense for the time and the situation that you live in, right? So, I want to take that back to just the Islamic encouragement from the Holy Prophet ﷺ as far as physical activity. So, obviously there was the times during the Hijrah and the times of wars, and racquetball wasn't necessarily around in Saudi Arabia, right? So, but still he encourages people to get involved in physical activity. So this is our expression of physical activity. I'm only gonna go over these notes that's on the board and then we're going to jump right into it, but I thought that this was important. So, your deen, your practice throughout the day has physical things about it. So, like what? Like glasses. Everybody stand up. Just do this for a second. Do this for a second. Ah! Do this for a second. Ah! Do this for a second. Ah! Touch your toes, don't be shy, nobody cares. Touch the sky, touch your toes, touch the sky, touch your toes, sit back down. Y'all good? Y'all good? I got to do war cry. So what we do is we say us. Us means like, that's the charge up, that's the battle cry, that's the vigor, right? So I'm gonna ask you a question. Y'all good? Oh, did you hear that? That's power right there. So Japanese term, it just means acknowledgement. So I'm gonna ask you guys a question and I gotta hear that battle cry. Y'all good? O-U-S. I'm trying, man. Y'all good? Okay. What are 5 things that you do during the day that require physical activity? Anybody? You pray, right? You're moving your body, you're stretching your spine, you're stretching your neck, right? Allah put those things in us a lot, right? Those movements, it's good for you, right? But He also tells us that He doesn't intend for our faith to be a hardship on us, right? So how do you make something physical not a hardship? Anybody? Anybody? Who hates going up the steps? Siraj. Anybody else? Nobody. Everybody loves steps. Okay. Siraj, how do you make going up the steps easier? You climb. You cheated, man. You do it more. The more you do something, the easier it is, right? So if I do this, that was hard. But if I wake up in the morning and I do this, but wait, every day it becomes easier. And walking up the steps is easier, right? And as you learn and study, you'll learn and you'll read about how fast the Prophet ﷺ used to walk, and people struggle to keep up with him, right? Because he put effort into it. And He made it easier to travel because He didn't have Uber back then, right? Okay, so self-restraint. You can control yourself in a situation if you familiarize yourself with the situation on different levels, right? When you're playing video games, right? If you go straight to level 10, you're gonna get angry. Oh man, I hate this game, right? I hate Smash or whatever it is, right? But you start at level 1, you start at level 2, you start at level 3, right? So you put yourself in a situation so that when you have to tackle it, it's not a problem. It's not a big deal. You're not scared, right? So you stand up, please. What's your name, man? Say it again. Say it like a crowd. Someone do this work. Hey! Oh, see that? You see that? You weren't familiar with that. You don't know nothing about that. That doesn't happen to you every day, right? So when what's your favorite restaurant? What's your favorite restaurant? Somebody else who has a favorite restaurant. Come on, what's your name? What's your favorite restaurant? Stand right there. I'm gonna touch you. The person's favorite? Hey, I just ears covered, man. You blew it, man. So what I'm saying is, yeah, this ears covered. So what I'm saying is, at Elevation Burger, when it, hey, boom. Look, I'm sorry. Boom. That shot right there. You have to do something about getting familiar with that. So when it happens, you won't be scared. Did I hit you too hard? No. Okay, good job, man. Everybody clap for that. So the center is walk away, right, when you get angry, right? But it's also, you also have an obligation to protect yourself. You defend yourself. If somebody tries to grab your mom's purse, you're just going to say, okay, and you're going to walk away. If somebody puts their hand on your shoulder that you don't know, right? You're just going to walk away. What are you going to do? Constable, come on. What are you going to do? No mind. So it's Halloween. I know you don't celebrate Halloween, but it's Halloween. He's a creepy guy. He's got the band. You're walking. You're going to the next trick-or-treater house. Put this arm back like this. That's your candy bag right there. You pull it lightly. You pull his arm, and that's when you get the band. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Yes, sir. Right. So he has the right. Everybody has the right to defend himself. Yeah. Okay. So. What I'm saying is, you can practice self-restraint different ways. You can meditate in the water fountain all day, or you can use your brain to think about the things that you deal with, and you can train to familiarize yourself with the problem so that you can overcome the problem, just like sports. You familiarize yourself in practice, and then when you go to the game, you're good, right? When you got a defender in front of you, who plays basketball? When you got a guy in front of you, man, you do everything. Anybody else play basketball? This guy? Alright, so there's that, and then there's science, study. Why is exercise good? Who feels good after they exercise? Nothing. What's your name? Say it loud. You were talking? Say, what's your name, Proud? Prouder. Okay, so why do you think you feel good after you exercise? Anybody? Why do they think they feel good after they exercise? Nobody has any. Who feels crappy after they exercise? Okay. All right. So there's chemicals in the body that we can encourage and we can bring alive and we can manifest through exercise. I'm not going to get into a chemical discussion because I'm not a chemist, but I know that serotonin and dopamine are two chemicals that are in the body and in the brain that can help bring a relaxation and a feeling of satisfaction over your body. The human body is a battery, so it's full of energy, right? When you wake up in the morning and all you want to do is go play basketball, but your mom's like, hey, you got to read, you got to study your Quran, you got to clean your room, and right? All that energy, it wants to go somewhere, right? And when you don't feed that, what happens is it just decreases and it becomes small, right? And then when you need it, you don't have it. When it's time to study, you're not excited about studying, right? When it's time to wake up and eat breakfast at 4 in the morning, you don't feel like it. Because your body hasn't produced those chemicals over time to feed those and give you excitement and give you a good feeling over your body, okay? So those are just some of the basic things of why exercise is good for you and how that ties into your Islam. So we're going to start with some rollouts. This is our expression of exercise and self-defense. So we justify it however we have to make excuses to miss the activity. So like that. Any questions about what I talked about at all so far? We're going to bring guys up and make them fight each other. Why do you guys think he's doing that? So why do you guys think they're practicing? Why do you think he's practicing hammering the floor? That's sick.
Make noise.
Make noise?
So like, if you ever get pushed down, you won't feel as much pain or anything.
Yeah. Well, this is the same guy who tried to grab my arm when I was trick-or-treating. You don't trick-or-treat. It's the same guy who tried to grab my arm, okay? You do what you did.
Kick them.
Yeah? Okay, so let's go. See how he slaps the floor? So he can practice. He can practice this over and over again. And he can slap the floor over and over again. And he can get up. Do it again and again. So that's part of what we do. So when I say us, you gotta say us back like louder than me. So that's why we do it. Us? Okay, good. So what is jiu-jitsu? Does anybody know what is jiu-jitsu here? Anybody else? Yeah?
Is that for fighting?
It's a type of fighting, yes. So it's a type of fighting that is designed around not having to work hard. So I know it sounds crazy, but we work hard so that we don't have to work hard. Right? So he puts his hand on my chest, right? Because he wants my Halloween bag. Or my eat bag, whatever, right? So if he puts his hand on my chest every day, right? I do this work over and over. No problem, man. No problem, man. I do that over and over again. So that when it happens and he tries to get my e-bag, it'll just work. It'll just work. So I'm coming into him, taking his space, and then I use his body against him. And it gets really crazy really fast, yeah? So anybody play video games like Dead or Alive or Street Fighter? Stop raising your hand. Anybody play video? Anybody's parents that can play violent video games? Okay, what do you play? So, can you do it? So all of these situations prepare him. Us? Who said that? I was trying to get us. So all of these situations prepare him. Right? He's pushing me. That's jiu-jitsu. He pulls me. I push him. That's jiu-jitsu. So I'm always going with what the person is giving me. Okay? So some small things like that. So we're going to start off with a movement drill. We call it types of body movement. You guys have some space in them. Give yourself some space. Just do 1 through 8 for me. Yeah? So, any questions so far? No questions? Does anybody want to try something? These guys, man. It's going to be hard for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, 11, 12. So everything seems complicated and hard until you break it down into pieces, right? Us? So I'm just going to throw some punches and he's going those different ways that you practice stepping to get away from my punches or blocking. All right, one more time. 1 through 12. Skip 9 to 10. So that's what you guys just saw, except he had his hands up. Does that make sense? That's good. Okay. So everything, because we don't start fights. Right? Those? No. Awesome start fights. The rest of us don't start fights, right? So the idea is that when somebody tries to harm you in jiu-jitsu, we call that receiving an attack. Because we didn't ask for it. And we didn't start it, right? None of us throw spitballs, right? The generation even know what spitballs are? Just gonna work on this high block first. So on the first day of class, nobody's gonna hit you down. Anybody wanna try to hit him? Nobody had anger management? Hey. Give me back, baby. No, I hit him somewhere different. Surprising. No, that's all you got, man? Come on, hit me. Okay, I need to open the address of you.
Okay.
You feel good? You feel that serotonin? Yeah? Good. Anybody else? Hey, come on. You got brothers at home, right? Have fun. Get him. That's all you got, man. Come on, two. Right. Good work. Y'all made it. That's good. So that comes back to, again, the obligation to defend ourselves, right? So you have to block first, but that's part of what we call receiving, okay? So let's just say he punches me, right? So we have blocking is a whole science by itself, right? But we have a lot of blocks. So I'm not going to get into detail right now. I'm just going to use this motion here. So he wants my face, he wants my face, he wants my face. So part of how we have a saying that says, you fight how you train, right? Okay, so anyway, this is the receive here. This is the receive, okay? So what I want to do is I want to take away the faculties of his body that allow him to operate, right? We have the different systems of the body: skeletal, muscular, nervous, endocrine, digestive, right? So we have a saying called vision, breathing, balance. So I want to take something on that list away from him so that I can walk away. Third bullet point, okay? But I'm allowed to defend myself. So I'm just going to touch him right here above his eyes, and that's my eyes. And I'm going to touch him right here on his neck, and that's the breathing, okay? And the balance comes with the motions. Comes here, eyes. So in jiu-jitsu, it's actually a breaking art. So I have to do something so that I don't have to run away. So here, we'll break across the knee. That's the broken arm. Okay? Here we'll double the break across the knee.
control the situation so that I can walk away. Say, please tell your friends to back up. Now hit them. It's a soft spot, please. Tell your friends to back up. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to go out here and pick a fight. I'm not trying to go out here and be a super UFC fighter. What I'm trying to do is get back home so that I can eat dinner with my family, right? Okay, so there's that. There's receive, and we have to damage something, right? When this punch comes, I have to take away take away something so that he won't want to fight anymore. Yeah? So we control joints, manipulations here, these are called locks. This is the skeletal system control. So here, controlling the spine by way of his wrist, to elbow, to shoulder, to spine. So when I send this here to his knees, I'm putting him on his feet. So now we can talk about this problem. And if this is not a good enough situation for him to talk, then I just have to do more to control the situation. It might be his touch. It might be, I'm touching, but you guys can use your imagination, right? So it might be his touch, right? It might be his slap, right? It might be whatever it is. It might be that I need to just control this so that he get here, and I can just stay on him. Hey, are we okay? And I use my skeletal system and my muscular system to control it. Get up.
Nah, I'm good.
Please get up. Please get up.
I'm good.
And that's what we want, so that we can walk away, yeah? Okay, so there's that, and then one more thing that we do a lot is throwing. And the reason why we throw so much is because we actually study throws. So circles and triangles is geometry, right? So what we're always looking to do is use the circles and the triangles in a fashion where I can get around his body and make my work easy. Okay? So we'll just dance for a second, and you guys just yell out whether you see in my motion a circle or a triangle or a straight line. Okay? Ready? Louder, like you care. Come on.
Circle. Triangle.
You see a triangle?
Yeah. Wait, I saw it.
Wait. No, explain it. No arms? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Straight line.
Okay, let's try that again. That's fine. Yeah? So you see how it works? This is geometry putting things together to make my work simple. Okay? So there's a lot. And once we just start playing, right? Once we just start playing, we'll see the use of elbow, knees, body breakdown, and control. But remember, I'm not trying to just destroy this guy. I'm trying to give him encouragement not to do it again. Does that make sense? Yeah? Too much? Okay. On your feet, let me get three girls and three boys. Come on, man. We gotta support each other, right? Right? Us? Okay. So we're gonna do one move really simple, right? It's called look in the mirror, grab the pulse. Double grab, swing the baseball bat. Pull the baseball bat. Okay? Again. Look in the mirror, grab the pulse, swing the bat, lower it. And you guys say it? Look in the mirror, look in the mirror, look in the mirror, grab the pulse, swing the bat, lower the bat. Okay, that's your guys' move. That's your one move, and you will get your black belt today. Alright, you gotta coach them without touching them, and I'll work with you. No, you work with these guys. You have any questions?
You gotta use the work. So the way it starts is you got to now you know John.
You got about 4 minutes to get your black belt, so let's do that.
Yeah. Now,
See that? Who's John Cena? You can't see him.
You don't want to try? It looks like you're
Restart.
grab her.
Okay. Turn. Relax. Now you turn. Like this, cover your face. Right there, show your ring. Then you grab under her wrist. Yes, just like that. So now what you're going to do is when you're in that position, now what you're going to do It was an over, so you're gonna.
Has anybody learned? Anybody want to try?
Look. Nice.
You got a minute and a half to get your black belt. Anybody else?
Try again.
Anybody want to try?
More time.
Got it? Anybody got it?
Grab. Step two. Turn. Yes. Step two. Now. Yes. Oh man. That's what I'm trusting you again. That way. Don't take it right down.
You heard it, man. Anybody know anything?
Yes,
about it?
that's it.
Yeah?
That's it. Make sure that's it.
Okay. Y'all need to stop for Japanese. We speak Japanese in our school because it's a Japanese art. So y'all may. So everybody have a seat except orange and green. Everybody, I think I've been doing something over and over again, like painting or anything like that. And then I go and I hang out with the old guys who are painting longer than me, or even shorter than me. And it doesn't matter because I can learn from him if I'm paying attention, right? I learn from my students all the time, every single class. Okay? So right now they're gonna learn from each other. Orange will grab first. No, there you go. No, her wrist, her wrist. One more time. Good. Look in the mirror. Grab the ball. Nice. Wait, you can't just dance for her like that. Okay, look in the mirror. Grab the balls. Now wait, now watch this. Break your other hand free and then hold it like a baseball. Break your left hand free. Now put two hands on her wrist like a baseball. Now spin out to the hey! Okay, so this will go on and on and on, and it has been going on and on for a very long time, lots of years. People have been changing the practice and adding to the practice and taking away from the practice so that we can make it more and more efficient, okay? And efficient means what? Less work, more result, right? Okay. I tried, but you're still asleep, so good luck, bud. Good luck, guys. I really appreciate it. So let's all stand up real quick. So we know in Islam we only bow to Allah. So in our class we touch our heart and we give a courtesy with a straight back. So courtesy looks like this, straight arms and then straight back. So you touch your heart and then we're gonna go like this and we're gonna say us all at the same time. Ready? Courtesy. Us. All right, good job, man.